My name's Anna Keikoff, the owner of The Artistic Mermaid, and I'm a ceramic artist that creates sculptures inspired by the ocean and coral reefs. Coral reefs, which are considered to be the rainforests of the ocean, are declining at a very rapid rate. However, a lot of us are unaware of what's going on under the ocean and how important they are to us as human beings. Coral reefs cover just under 1% of the ocean's floor. So the fact that they're able to provide a home for up to 25% of all marine life shows how valuable they are. However, they're not only valuable to marine life, but are directly useful to us as human beings. So they provide us with a source of income through fishing and tourism. They help to buffer the shoreline and prevent erosion, which is why places like Hellshire Beach, you can see a visible difference between, let's say, 2009 to now 2020, where the ocean has basically reached the footsteps of all of the stores along Hellshire Beach. Through my art, my aim is to create a personal connection between the viewer and coral reefs in a way that will enact a positive change. Art generally has the power to affect us emotionally in a way that scientific data just can't. As people, we tend to protect what we care about, and we care about what we know and understand. Working in clay, I explore the intricacies of these diverse underwater systems, molding and sculpting each coral type in a way that brings its underwater world to the surface. As a diver and as someone who has had the opportunity to outplant corals and assist in maintaining coral nurseries, I've gained a deep appreciation for coral reefs and all that they do for us. As such, my aim is to celebrate the beauty of the coral reefs while highlighting the threats that they face. This piece shows the coral reefs in different stages of life. So we have the healthy sections where it's bright and colorful. The dying section is where it's white and going through coral bleaching. Coral bleaching takes place when the oceans become too warm and the corals go under a lot of stress, causing them to release their symbiotic algae that provides the coral with their color and nutrients. So without this, the corals become vulnerable and they end up dying. The sections where the algae is growing over the corals and taking them over are considered to be the dead sections of the reefs. That's why the parrotfishes are so important, because they are the reef cleaners. So they eat the algae off the corals, keeping them healthy and allowing them to thrive. My creative process for my fine art pieces generally goes like this. So I would reflect on the past dives that I have done, looking back at images and videos of what I would have taken while under the water. Of course, I look at images online, and I have a couple books that are related to coral reefs. Then I try and think, what am I highlighting in this piece? Am I highlighting the dead sections, the dying sections, the healthy sections, or just everything overall? Afterwards, I start now by creating the base of the sculpture. Once the base is completed, I start to mold and sculpt the different coral types that I will be adding onto the base. Sometimes I might carve into the base when I'm creating a brain coral pattern, but in this one, I'm actually adding onto the base to create the brain coral pattern. When the piece is completed, it has to dry for about a week, depending on the size and thickness. And then once it's completely dried, it will go in the kiln to get fired. After it gets fired in the kiln, comes out, and I will start the long process of glazing it. Glazing is probably the least fun part of my whole process. After it's glazed, then it would go back into the kiln and back out, and we have a piece. Along with my more sculptural fine art pieces, I also have my more applied art or commercial pieces, which would generally be smaller in size, less expensive, and in most cases they may have a use. So Examples of those would be my coral wine stoppers, my coral rings, the seashell dishes and seashell pendants, and I have wall hangings also. If you're interested in purchasing any of my work, or you just want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, you can follow me on Instagram at theartistic.mermaid, on Facebook, which is The Artistic Mermaid, and my website is www.theartisticmermaid.com.